Did you know that ingesting large amounts of nutmeg is actually deadly? It actually causes organ failure.
That I'm not surprised.
Mm. I
That
think
I'm
any
not surprised. It's
uh,
same thing with I want to say apple seeds.
apple seeds. Isn't that like a component of like cyanide? Yeah.
Yeah, cyanide.
Mm.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah, yeah.
oh man. But then again, I don't think anyone. Well, I can't say anyone, but it doesn't generally pop into your line of thought to ingest apple seeds or a large amount of them at least. But surprisingly, roach milk is a superfood. So I mean,
That's a
whoever,
hard sell.
yeah. I mean, if if anyone tried to convince you like just suck on this roach's titty or whatever
Um,
glands it has,
I wonder
just
who found that out that it was a superfood.
yeah. I mean, there's just it's so weird. It's people are trying to convince. They were trying to convince through scientific articles that it actually contains a lot of beneficial nutrients, but it's at the same time, roaches are just the general. I like they're kind of just a ideal of just salmonella and disease and such. So it's just there's no way to think about ingesting any components of them.
What kind of roaches are you talking about? Your regular house roaches or
I don't know. You can try for yourself.
okay, okay.
just just I don't know. Just ask the roach to give you some. I don't know. But
Okay.
yeah,
Are they from male or female roaches?
mm, I would hope female, at least. Because if you got it from the male roaches, that would be gay.
Okay. All right. My fun fact. Did you know that Tokyo Drift, they shot in a scene in Shibuya. They didn't have a permit for it. So they hired somebody to be the fall guy.
Like to take the
So that fall guy,
to take
to
the
take the
brunt
hit.
of,
So
okay.
that fall guy pretended to be the director of the movie and spent a night in jail. Spend the night in jail for them to have that scene. It was probably some uh, cost saving thing. I mean, I know the director is Justin Lin, so I could figure that. Yeah, they probably did something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably did something like that because, yeah, he's from the independent film world. And sometimes you got to get those shots, and sometimes you gotta do these things to get the shot.
Mm.
But yeah, so in Tokyo Drift, that car scene, the chase car in Shibuya, it was illegally done.
I mean, you can at least put that on your resume for what it's worth. Like I was
I'm
a
the fall
director.
guy.
I went from what was it? Stagehand to director in like one day. The highest jump in history.
I wouldn't be surprised if that guy made a career to be the fall guys on movie sets to just shoot scenes in public like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Then that would end up turning into an accomplishment on your resume. Then, just
Yeah,
how many times you were sent to
you're
jail
the fall guy.
and got back out.
You're the fall guy.
Yep. Anyways, on to today's topic.
Um, have you thought about the technology you used back maybe say 15 years to now?
Mm.
Have you thought about it?
Some of it I still use.
Like what?
I still play Super Nintendo.
Oh, um, I was thinking. I think this week I was thinking about all the old technology that I mean, I think old technology is way better than current technology because old technology was made to last, and now today's technology is made to expire within the next 5 years. So you can upgrade to a new tech as soon as possible,
Mm-hmm. We
which I
in the
don't like, you know.
Yeah. We're
I
in
mean-
the technological
I-
and convenient age. That's why. So
Yeah.
the business is pretty much there.
Have you, I know that you replaced your TV. How long did you have that TV before you needed to be replaced?
My TV, I had it for about a good 6 years. My parents actually have my first LCD flat screen TV, and that
And that's
thing's
still going, right?
Yeah, it's still going today. It's got dead pixels on it, but it's just, for the most part, you look at it and the picture's not as clear, but the surprising thing is that it's still kicking. I think
The crazy thing, my parents,
Mhm.
my parents still have a CRT TV monitor, but that thing is almost pushing, I want to say maybe 25 years, and they still use it.
Mm.
A whole bunch of adapters, everything on it, just to keep it going.
Oh, I've seen
But,
TV.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I've seen the TVs with knobs that are still going.
yeah, I mean, those things are definitely made to last. Unfortunately, like the current ones, it is not meant to last for more than 5 years, which sucks. It's like it's like your family phone. It used to be you can use it for like 15 years until you need it to be replaced, but now it's like, you know, you can replace it. You need to replace it every, every 3 years, because the thing is, like, everything needs a battery, right? And the thing is, the manufacturers are designing things that you can't open up and replace easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Everything is disclosed, and like you're more likely you're just leasing it until the next phone item comes out, which sucks.
I think I find it more interesting that sort of mindset kind of reflects in our everyday culture now, where it's not just technology that's so easily dismissed and discarded. It's also just relationships and people too, because we're in such an era where, like, you know, it's all about like convenience. So if it doesn't fit our convenience, we easily discard it and discredit whatever it is.
That's a good point. I think with dating apps, that
Tinder,
dating apps, social media, it's kind of like it's creating a lot of disposable relationships as well. So that's more encouraging, because it's so easy to connect with people and to meet up with people and stuff like that. It's like you're not, I don't want to say you're not valuing the current relationships you have. You're just kind of like, all right, on to the next greatest thing, supposedly, and that's when that's when the issue starts.
Yeah. I speak of this because Cole and I have been married for almost 20 years now, and
Shut up.
we've been longtime friends, and it's just when it comes to several of these types of discussions, we always have a lot of input on them. So it's just it's interesting how I've met a lot of people who try to seem genuine, but it's so easy for them to discard their friendships and their relationships for the sake of convenience, or just trying to come up on top in life. And it's like, it's developing us as a fake society, you know, and it's the way technology is kind of training us to do that is because we're already imprinting it into our brains that things are going to fail. Things are going to fail within a short amount of time, so you shouldn't invest yourself too much into them. You shouldn't put all your time and trouble into them. So I feel like that's kind of an interesting thing to look at when it comes to how our old mindset and culture have developed compared to today. and it's not necessarily wrong on either end because you're just a product of that era. So, and I think it's also important. This is also important to have self-awareness to where you do realize that, you know, that these things are apparent and you can find a way to kind of create like some middle ground for it.
Anyways, so yeah, so there's a lot of things like I completely disagree with when it comes to like technology and how we design things, and hopefully people understand that. So it's like,
What's your biggest one?
yeah, I don't want to. I definitely my biggest concern is like how cars are like being marketed to people, and how I want to say it's and the manufacturers are just taking advantage of people's stupidity and not being aware of things. It's like my you already know, like I mentioned this a few recordings ago, where and how a lot of auto industry manufacturers are switching over to CVT transmissions instead of encouraging people to go with manual transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
It's because CVT, they're great, but the thing is like they're designed. I promise you, they're designed to last for like 5 years, and then once 5 years are up, people don't want to pay the money to replace your transmission. Why not just get a new car, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many plastics in the motor engine, in the engines and stuff like that. Those things are designed to fail in like the 5 years. I think anything past 2000, I think it's all over. It's kind of like it's gonna expire. It's like older cars, they last so much longer than newer cars that are built today. I mean, they're great. There's a great infotainment system in it and stuff like that. But the thing is, those infotainment systems, they're designed to fail, right? You always need to upgrade those firmwares on those head units, right?
I agree with you up until the 2000s, just because I think there's cars that are under the 2010s that actually can last a good while. I mean, they haven't been proven to last like as long as the ones from the early 1900s and 1950s yet, but there's some of them that still seem to be going pretty strong. Go on.
Yeah. So I mean, that's my main thing. Is like the technology is just like I think people need to learn how to drive manual transmissions.
Oh yeah.
All the items in the car are just like it's so distracting for people. It's like for me, like I just want to drive my car and I just want to go, right? I don't want to have a complicated infotainment system on my thing. I'd rather have the radio on, volume up, volume down, done, right?
No matter how much Cola pretends to have it. He's like, Google, activate my car. Like every time we walk up to his car, I'm like, dude, stop. Just stop. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, my car is a little older and I don't have push anything. It's very low tech, which I like.
Just push the entire car to make it start. It's got one Asian manpower.
So yeah. So I mean, yeah. That's the only thing. I think. What are some other things? It's just like, I just get so mad because like, I can't believe it's just like, certain things don't last more than a year.
I feel like the sensors that we put on cars are definitely just something that have been a bit detrimental to us as drivers, just because it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. It's just trained us to incorporate this in our lives. It's trained us to actually not pay attention more on while we're driving or while we're backing up or something. And I actually saw a video the other day of someone. I hope this doesn't become a thing. Someone who was wearing a VR headset over their eyes while they were driving, and they just slammed into the back of someone's car. And my guess is someone tried to automate their car so much to where they were just not being completely negligent to how they were driving, and they just full on rear-ended someone. And I thought that it was a video clip, and I thought it was the dumbest and dangerous thing that could happen to drivers today.
Yeah, the thing is like it's virtual reality, but then people probably treat it like a game, so they think there's a do-over. So I think that's kind of like the attitude. It's like, oh, it's not real.
Yeah, until you hit something.
The other thing that bugs me: smart TVs.
Interesting.
Smart TVs.
Coming from a broadcasting guy.
They have the thing is like, smart TV. So then the companies can collect your data, your recordings, and stuff like that. I'm just saying.
Mine would have an awful lot of porn, but
yeah. I remembered. I was watching some downloaded content that I put on a thumb drive, and I put it right into the TV, and it recognized the movie I was watching. It recognizes the movie I was watching. I was like, no, this is not happening right now.
So we found out you like Korean midget porn, so here's what we recommend to you. And then they give you the Angry Birds movie.
That's the thing. Like I wanted, that's the thing I wanted to avoid.
I find the whole active listening advertisements kind of weird, where it's just it's half the time it's just I understand it's for a convenience, but it's also kind of freaky to realize that something is always listening to you. It's like this whole Big Brother type of thing, but I don't see a benefit to it.
The trend is to track people as much as possible, get as much information as possible. That's the thing, and I kind of think like we're in the Matrix right now, where instead they're collecting our bioelectricity, they're collecting just data from us.
Yeah, and that's another interesting thing. Smartphones and social media have just somehow made it so a part of our culture to report everything it is we do. You know, it's just how people just put out there that like they somehow did something, like they stole from someone or stole from something, and then they just don't see the consequences from it until it actually happens. It's like they just kind of gave themselves up on social media, and it's weird because it's funny that it was such a normal thought process to them. It was like, oh yeah, I'll just tell people that I stole from Target the other day, and just to make it seem like I'm really cool, or I just did something that was like really extreme. And then they don't think about things like, oh well, you kind of admitted to a crime. It's just we're oversharing everything, and I feel like that's what technology's kind of done to us, to where we can't stay private anymore. We can't stay private to where we can handle our own issues. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely can't stay private. Everything, I mean, we're exposed, so don't be surprised that certain people have your information. So I mean, yeah.
It's just
but yeah, so I mean, a couple years ago it was all innocent, and now it's just like, oh, we're definitely getting taken. Definitely, but I mean, there are certain things that make it a lot easier for us to do, like start a business, share our photos with our family members. Definitely get things, the exact things that we want. And it's shipped right to your door, and that's great. That's amazing. That's the benefit of it. I mean, I wish it wasn't being taken advantage of. It's like that.
Mm.
Like, what else have we benefited? Meeting new people online, which is great. Certain things that are great about it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of things that are great and beneficial. It's just some of the things that are just kind of shoved down our throats constantly have just altered our society in general. And it's just like, I'm not sure I like this. You know, my main thing is people just can't learn to stay private anymore, and that they can't. They've also been taught not to enjoy or appreciate the things that they already have. So, you know, I mean, my main argument was, my main thing was just, you know, I went from Super Nintendo to like PlayStation 1 in the span of 10 years. And I thought that was amazing in general. Just because graphics and video streaming, downloading have made such huge strides and everything. Because all in all, we're carrying literal supercomputers at our fingertips. Because, you know, back then that technology back then the technology could not have compared to what we have today. But we're just kind of using and abusing it in kind of the worst ways possible. I saw the new NVIDIA card, or I saw advertisements for the new NVIDIA, and the graphics on the pooping butt are amazing. I'll definitely get a video card for that.
I mean, there's a lot HD. There's a lot of controversy behind that because people are upset because I think the previous generation cards, they cost, I want to say maybe $1,500, right? But the new one's coming out, even the lower tier graphics cards that's coming out from NVIDIA is outbeating the most expensive, the top tier previous generation, and it's cheaper. So a lot of people are upset about that.
Wait, that they're upset that it's cheaper than the previous generation?
Yes, it's cheaper because the cheapest, it's called the 30 series. The cheapest 30 series is outbeating the top of the line 20 series. And that's, so people who spent on the 20 series, the top of the line, if they spent like $1,500 on it, but then the next generation, it just leaps over there and it costs them $500. $500.
That is not something I would complain about, honestly. If you're getting something better for less, then why not?
But the thing is, like the people who previously bought it at $1,500, they're getting under, and they're still, and those same graphics cards are still more expensive. It's just people who bought it previously. Let's say they bought it like in June, and then they make the announcement thing. But people are upset because it's like, wow, this thing is leaps and bounds over the previous generation. Normally, it's an incremental upgrade, right? So if you get the top tier, the top tier will last you for a while until the next thing shows up. But no, this one is like a complete jump. It's like
the other argument would be that they haven't dropped the price of the previous one then, the 20 series.
Yeah, because if you drop it from $1,500, it's still more expensive than the cheapest next generation graphics card. So people are losing a lot of money off of this. For me, like
And I'm getting me a graphics card then.
Oh, are you gonna get the previous generation or the newest generation?
I'm gonna get the newest generation for the PC that I don't have. I will stick it in my old iMac.
Good luck. Tape it on. A lot of people are gonna have to. A lot of people are gonna have to rebuild their old computers because sometimes they have enough. The motherboard is not compatible with the new graphics cards, and it's a whole bunch of shit.
Well, then in that case, it's just it makes sense then. Or then it would kind of make sense if you would have to redo everything that you have, but just to kind of mitigate that kind of cost. But I don't know. I'm not big on building computers anymore. I used to think that they were much better to have than a laptop, but we're transitioning into the portable age where everything's at your fingertips or just carried along with you. That it's much better just to transition over to what's more convenient over to what is actually more efficient, because the efficiency now lies within portability.
Have you do you know about tech etiquette?
No. Why don't you review it with us?
So tech etiquette is basically, there were certain things when I was younger, learning about getting new technology and stuff like that. One of them was back then having a cell phone was like a status symbol. Like if you have, if you got a Mac, it's a status symbol. The thing is like, one thing is like I don't talk on the phone or text while I'm driving. Most people know that. When they interact with me, it's like you're not gonna hear me because I'm driving or I'm in a meeting or something like that. So
of course not. You only text and call when we're making love, and that's it.
Even that, I generally like have my phone on silent. If I'm in a group setting, I rarely text when I'm hanging out with people. Normally, if I'm texting, it's an important thing that I have to reply to. But
there's other reasons for that, Cola. There's other reasons for that, Cola.
But yeah, it's like I think we definitely need to learn it. Like, I think we definitely need to teach people how to. There's a time and when to be on your tech gadgets and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe you're different. I mean, we're pretty old. I mean, I definitely approach things certain differently. It's like people get upset if I don't reply back immediately, but like I'm doing stuff right now.
I am more about we should definitely learn to appreciate a lot of the old values, because they were pretty much a benchmark for us advancing the way we did today. So that's how I feel about it. There are some major differences, and there are some areas where it probably did change for the better, but there's a lot of gold nuggets of just key values that were there that I feel like we've lost today compared to what they were back then. Just old values of friendships and relationships and like family and such. But everything is devolved to a point where everything could be easily either supplemented, replaced, or just discarded.
Yeah, that includes people too. So, I remember the age of Facebook. MySpace. Your top 5 friends. Oh, that ruined a lot of relationship.
I don't know.
Which I didn't get. So.
Did you make it to 5? I made it to 2.
No, I mean I didn't know about MySpace and Facebook until I got to college.
When Cola and I became friends, I was like, out of the way, Tom, you're out of the top 5. Anything else?
Okay.